Hi, my name is Drew Kruk. I'm with director JC Golubev to talk about his documentary feature film Requiescat in Pace. JC, Requiescat in Pace. Why did you choose the title of this film?
That's a good question. Finding the title for a movie is always a very complicated process. I tried many different titles, but I wanted something that gives a punch, gives an impact. And I don't think there is a better language out there than Latin. And that's why I started to look around. What title could I use in Latin? And I thought, okay, I want the religions to eventually just kind of vanish. So we say rest in peace when that happens. So what is rest in peace in Latin? Requiescat in pace. And that's how we ended up with that title.
When did production begin on this film?
The script process was actually pretty quick, surprising to most. It took under 3 weeks to write, about 24 pages or so. And we started production about 4 or 5 months later, so March of 2012. The hard part was to find video material to fill out the sections between my, let's say, stand-ups.
Please tell us what the movie is about.
The movie covers many topics, of course mostly religion. We talk about the Judeo-Christian religions and how they impact the world negatively. I'm very well aware that religions do some good sometimes, and some people use religion to do good in the world, but I have to say that most of the time it's not used for good, and you see many examples of that, churches hoarding the money instead of actually sharing it with others. And that's basically what the movie's about, is to show all those things, to expose certain things that people may not be aware of.
Was there a particular world event that made you start this film?
For me, the tipping point, I think, were the 2012 American elections for president, where a lot of candidates started to bring religion into politics. And of course, in America, we have a separation of state and church. It's in the Constitution. But I feel that those lines are getting more and more blurry. And you had people like Richard Murdoch and Todd Akin talking about how, well, the woman has been raped and so she should have her kid, no abortion, right? Because it's God's will. And I'm like, hold on a second, that's not what an empathetical person would do or say. Of course, you have other people like Michelle Bachmann, who always rejoices at the end of the world thought. She's like, okay, when is it coming? Tomorrow? Oh, great, I'm gonna be reunited with my invisible friend. These type of things just kind of really pushed me over that line, and I felt that I had to do something. So the documentary, of course, is one result of that process, but I also have, of course, my own show that I do called Age of Reason.
Could you tell us about some of the locations you filmed at?
Most of the locations were around Yokohama in Japan. Some temples, but also near Yokohama. And we also went to Venice to shoot at the Piazza San Marco, which is, of course, the iconic plaza in Venice. So that was interesting. And one of the last shots is near Mount Fuji.
What objective are you hoping to achieve with this film?
Well, I think the main objective is to change people's minds, right? I mean, I would like it if people, after they watch this movie, they start to really question certain topics, or now they're actually giving more ammunition to question it, because I was able to provide that. And I think once you start to ask questions in religion, it generally falls apart, because the pastors and preachers, they cannot answer those questions. These are questions that nobody can answer, actually.
Was it a difficult decision to make this film?
It's a lot of work. It's a big decision. It's basically, do we do it or not? If we decide to do it, then it's pretty much a 1 or 2 year commitment right there, and your entire life kind of becomes this one project for a while, and you have to commit, otherwise it just falls apart.
You've been a filmmaker for so long. With such a heavy topic,
Yeah.
is it a heavy film.
Yeah, of course, it has to be. The religious topic upsets many people right from the get-go. A lot of people obviously don't want to accept the truth, but they already closed down the self-defense mechanism. And no matter what you tell those people, the enthusiastically religious, as I like to call them, they will never change their mind. It's impossible. But my movie was more meant for people who find themselves kind of between religion, the world of religion, and the world of atheism. And they're like in the middle of that world. And this is actually where the majority of people are, because atheists are the minority. But the people who are really religious are also a minority. But a lot of people are kind of in this middle, right? And that's what I wanted to tap the most. Those people sometimes lack a certain maybe guidance, or they don't have enough knowledge about atheism. Or they have the wrong ideas about atheism sometimes. So I wanted my documentary to kind of cover all of that.
Are you a religious person yourself?
I'm actually baptized, but I'm never practicing. I was baptized as an Orthodox because this is the main faith in Russia, but I never really practiced at all. At the same time, I don't consider myself as a, militant atheist. My goal is to promote knowledge, and in the documentary, when you see my stand-up pieces, I never really attack anything. I just want people to question things and to give them more knowledge, because knowledge is power. People don't often think that way, but it's true. And if you know more things, then you can fight certain ideas or even ideologies. You're better equipped to do that.
Do you see yourself coming up against any friction within the industry with religious people?
After watching it, of course, some people may be, offended by what I say, but some people are offended by the truth. I'm not sorry for that, because I'm here to promote reality. I'm here to promote, people's self-confidence. Believe in yourself, not in some mystical higher power. Because even if a person says, I believe in God, okay, fine. Which God? And have you actually studied all the Bibles, let's say, all the holy books in the world? The answer is most likely no. So how can you claim that your religion then is the only one? I don't know. But they don't know either.
Do you see a day where there may be no religions?
For me personally, I would probably have to say no. And the reason for that is, if you look at the religions today, you have like the big ones like Christianity, Islam, and all of that. Even if those disappear, there is evidence today that new ones are there to move into the vacuum and occupy the space. And of course, Mormonism and Scientology are just two examples.
Do you see yourself making similar films in the future?
Yes. I don't know when, but the answer is yes. And my next topic is probably on conspiracy theories. And the reason for that, I am not a conspiracy nut at all. But the reason I say it is because a lot of people are. And I feel that even if the world of religion crumbles, let's say tomorrow, no more religion, conspiracy theories will kind of fill that gap. It's basically the same things. People take information on faith. It's obviously very little or no proof whatsoever. And they actually just say those things as if they are facts, but they're not. And so I feel conspiracy theory or theories is the next big poison after religions.
When is Requiescat in Pace coming out?
The movie is coming out late September 2015, and it will be available via my own production company, Frozen Frame Productions, online and on DVD and Blu-ray on demand for people who want it on those medium.
Check it out.
A great man once said, "Religion is dangerous because it allows human beings who don't have all the answers to think that they do. Most holy books we know of rely on blind belief and faith. In other words, a total suspension of critical thinking. Benjamin Franklin said, "Lighthouses are more helpful than churches," as well as, "The way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason." There are people out there whose only purpose is to obscure the truth. They contest scientific facts and undermine the power of knowledge and reason that has built modern society. Hardcore religious people claim that God talks to them, very much like the director was talking to Truman in The Truman Show.
Truman, who are you?
Why give credit to the supernatural when you can have credit for just being natural? You can pick almost anything in any holy book and then, using reason and modern knowledge, see how it all easily falls apart, like a castle of cards. In this documentary, I will show how religion hinders the moving cogs of scientific progress and uses its foggy and primitive irrationality to endanger reason.
As a wise man once said, "Credere in niente ed essere nella vostra protezione contro tutto. Requiescat in pace."